Hi.
Hello.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
a powerful performance.
Thank you.
This film is about speaking out and finding your voice as much as it is about the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality. Can you tell me a little bit about how your own experience of doing that, finding your voice, impacted your performance?
That's a good question. I haven't been asked that. I think finding my voice was, and I'm continually finding my voice because I think it really is a continual process. But I think finding it initially was something that I was inspired to do by my peers, specifically within like online communities that I was a part of, just because I feel like I started witnessing this like refusal to compromise self in order to appease Eurocentricity, and that was really inspiring and made me feel like I had the power to stand up and speak out and call out behavior that I didn't think was cool and be completely unapologetic in my identity. And so I think, though, that I actually learned even more about it through Starr's journey, because Starr has a really, really remarkable journey towards, becoming an activist. And I felt like in the process of filming, I was actually learning from her, and looking at the factors that she's up against in terms of speaking out, which, includes actual physical harm to her body, social alienation, both like within her communities and just like nationwide and potentially worldwide. And I was thinking about what that must feel like, and how she decides to move through it with still maintaining her compassion for other people. I thought that was so powerful. I felt like I was learning from that.
Okay, so this film is a form of activism, and it's something that the Black Lives Matter movement have been doing for years. Have you seen real change, do you think, in regards to the responses to police brutality, and where do you think this film will have a contribution to that?
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to the actual tangible effects that the Black Lives Matter movement and subsequent movements have had on police brutality itself, I think it's hard to kind of track that and pin that down, but I do think that the awareness has created really incredible social movement in terms of whiteness being challenged, people having to think about their privilege, having to spend the time to actually consider the perspectives of people who don't look like them, and actually ascribe the humanity to people of color that they deserve. And that has been really beautiful to witness. I feel like, we're living in a culture now that kind of doesn't accept anything less than that. And, like, that is so cool. And 100%, some of the after effects of the initial Black Lives Matter surge. What was the second part of the question?
Where do you think this film will contribute to that?
I don't think this film points towards one specific action point in terms of like, okay, so you've watched this Black Lives Matter movie, now this is what you can do. I think it more serves as a place to process some emotions, and hopefully create some empathy. So I feel like we as people of color don't often have the time in this space to process how even the events of the past few years have made us feel, because we are so consumed with having to move through it and push forward and protest and resist, that sometimes like we don't have the time to be like, man, this feels really bad and this is really discouraging. And even if you're not experiencing it personally, but especially if you're experiencing it personally, there's a lot of grief, just even in knowing that people that look like you are being persecuted in this way.
Okay. I just have one more
question.
Yeah, sure. Which is, so the film, code switching is like a major theme. Starr switches between her two sides. And at the end, she wears her hair in an afro.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you could talk a little bit about what impact you wanted, what message you wanted to send with that. Because I know, obviously, you have, outside of film, you know, natural hair, you've celebrated it.
Yeah, sure. So that was a choice on my part, actually, because well, first of all, Starr has natural hair on the cover of the book, so and she wears a red bandana. So we wanted to pay homage to the book and make sure that we were kind of honoring that imagery. But also, I thought it would be so cool, and like I love braids, I rock with the braids. But I felt like for Starr's personal journey, it would be cool to see her go from having her hair braided and kind of like tucking away her natural hair and not demonstrating it, to coming to a place where she's proud to share it. And I also, you know, I'm really proud of my natural hair. I'm at a really awkward length right now because I had to shave my head off for a role, so I'm wearing braids for the moment. But yeah, I think natural hair is so beautiful. I always love to celebrate it whenever I can.